Nah, I'm playing, man. Hey, you didn't get that on camera, you tripped. Hey, man. So when I talk, I'm looking at you or looking at the camera?
The camera.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But if you choose not to look at the camera, it's all good.
Be cool and shit like it.
Yeah, yeah.
What's up? Well, hell, I got to start off with a shout out to my boy Mizo, 20 on the Town podcast, man. Thanks for supporting me and everybody in Tulsa holding it down. So let's do this.
You do.
My name is Gerald Harris, also known as the Hurricane. I am a professional mixed martial artist. Been fighting for about 12 years now, and I'm 38, so I only got about a year left in me. I turned 39 in November, but I got a lot of history in this game, man. A lot of big knockouts. I fought in every organization that's ever been known, around my time. So I'm a veteran. I'm not a legend or nothing like that, but I'm a veteran, definitely.
The bellator reached out to you recently.
Oh, yeah. I had a friend of mine call me from the city, and ironically, it was to fight a dude from the city, in Chicago, and I had retired, been eating, drinking, whatever I wanted, and I was weighing about 213. So in order to take this fight, a lot of people don't understand, we have to make a certain weight class, which is 185. That's a lot of weight for me. I cut 27 pounds in 2 days, and didn't feel good, but I actually felt pretty good in the fight because 185 is my natural weight class, so the weight cut didn't bother me. Took my first loss by submission ever. It sucked, but at the same time, it was an amazing night. I'm actually looking right up at the poster. I was on the card as Fedor Emelianenko, who is known as one of the best fighters of all time. This is a guy that I watched on YouTube, never thought I'd meet him in person. And I'm fighting on the same card as him, 2 fights before him.
Yeah.
So he actually got to see me fight live, But man, you know what? I try to make the most out of every opportunity. So it started my career back up. I got a 4-fight deal. We'll get into my second fight after that, but I got 2 more fights coming. So,
who was it that you fought?
the first fight was Rafael Lovato, which is crazy because I was actually interviewing him after he won a fight and told him, oh, he's a great fighter and he should go to the next level. And boom, he was there and he did exactly what I said he was going to do. He was tapping everybody out. The guy's 11-0 with 10 submission finishes. He's known as the best grappler in the world in mixed martial arts right now. He's defeated all the Gracies, so there's no shame in that loss that I took. If it was up to me, it would have went another direction. But like I said, no shame in that loss. Not too long after that, they gave me a phone call, and I wasn't too pleased with that call, but I'm still a grateful person for being in the organization. But they wanted me to fight at 170, which a lot of people don't understand that 170 is very difficult for me to make at my age. When I was 30, even 33, I could make it. The weight cuts weren't so bad, but I'm 38, I'll be 39 in November. I packed on about, I want to say 20 pounds since I started fighting. My natural weight in 2006 was 193, 196. You can ask any athlete, the older you get, the more weight you put on. It doesn't matter how hard you train, your body's naturally going to shoot up to whatever. And I walk around about 215, 216 now. I'm like a crackhead when I weigh in, I'm letting you know now. So this is me, 210, 30 pants and all. This is my paint pants, I be working them. So, as you can see, so some people, they be like, oh man, that's how I want to be built, you know what I mean? So when they called me for that fight, I'm like, damn, the money's good, it's a great opportunity, but 170 sucks, bro. I cut 45 pounds. When I say cut, that's just water weight, eating light, working out, and it just went bad, Training camp that was one of the best training camps I ever had. My cardio was on point, which saved me that night, but the fight was just bad. I was flat, flat doesn't mean fatigue. Flat means a man that works 7 days a week, 16 hours a day. So that Monday, he's done. He has nothing, you know what I mean? And that's how I felt. From cutting all that weight, I had nothing. Actually in the documentary, you see how I felt. Those last 3 pounds was hell. So there's no such thing as just 2 pounds or just 3 pounds. So when you see guys not making weight and we get pissed off, it's because we took that extra step to cut those last 3 pounds and they're too lazy to do it. So making weight was a big issue in the last fight, man.
Yeah. How long did you train for? How long did you have to plan before the fight?
I think it was an 8-week training camp, 6 to 8 weeks. And it was just good. I have wrestling. My wrestling partners were great. I was wrestling against college guys. My sparring was good. I was sparring 3 days a week, which I never do. I was running, maybe 3 or 4 days a week. Everything was on point. My weight was good. I was 197 the week before the fight, which is good for me. And then I slowly chopped that down to 170. But those last 4 pounds, I'm not kidding, those last 4 pounds took a lot out of me. And it's not the first time I've struggled with the last 4 pounds. This time was the worst, the absolute worst, and I'll never make 170 again. I can make it, but I'm not gonna do it. I won't feel good.
Where do you choose to fight at?
185. I'm a natural 185 pounder. Right now I'm heavy, I'm walking around like 213, but that's without training. As soon as I start training, the weight falls off. I'll be walking around about 200, 196. Making 185 is easy. And I feel good, I feel strong. I'm a small middleweight. The ideal weight class for me, honestly, would be 175, 180. 185 is good, but those guys are huge, man, but I can handle it. I'm a powerful guy. My athletic ability can only get me so far, and these guys aren't getting any older, they're getting younger, so the older I get, the younger guys are coming in, new generation, so I'm trying to knock these next 2-3 fights out, and I'm definitely gonna call it a wrap.
When's your next one?
I don't know, man. It's looking like 2019, so I can't complain. I'm in a big organization. I had the opportunity to be in the welterweight Grand Prix, which is an opportunity of a lifetime, but I wouldn't have done well with the weight cut. The competition is insane. This is one of the most talented pools of athletes I've ever seen in my life. And it would have been hard to be in that mix with the challenge of making weight. On top of trying to fight guys like Douglas Lima and Michael Venom Page and Rory McDonald and John Fitch. I mean, it's just insane, the talent that's in this. So it was a great opportunity, but that kid that beat me, he deserves it. He's a natural 170 pounder. He's amazing. He's 20-0 now, so he can, that's his. My best opportunities are at middleweight.
Who was your trainer?
Oh, my trainer, Pepe Replope Johnson. Love Pep, man, that's family. We haven't always agreed on everything, but we're family. Like I said, we find a way to make things work, and he gets his way, I get my way, and he knows me better than anybody. I don't want to ever in life step into that cage without that man standing behind me. I've tried it before, it doesn't work. It doesn't mean I'm going to win or lose, it just means I'm going to perform at my highest ability. My last fight, I felt the worst. I've been an athlete for 30 years. That's the worst I've ever felt. I felt like I was going to pass out a few times in the fight. That's how bad I was dehydrated and hurting. And he just talked me through it. Hey, man, walk him down, do your best. And that a trainer knows his fighter. He knows me better than anybody. And he's with me till, the end. He's with me when I retire. Well, he tells me, nah, you got a couple more in you. He was right. I came back twice. So he knows me better than anybody. I love Pep. So if you see me, you see him.
How long he been training you for?
Since 2008. It's our 10th year together, and I've done nothing but succeed with him. I think we have maybe 3 or 4 losses, but one time I lost, he wasn't with me, and these 2 recent losses. So, I've only got 7 losses total, and they've all been elite athletes. I can tell you that of the 7 guys that I lost to, 5 of them were undefeated. They all have, combined records of 100 and something and probably less than 10 losses. So I've lost to some monsters, and we beat some monsters, and they're still succeeding to this day. So I have the potential to do the same.
Whenever you do lose a fight, do you let it get to you?
Hell yeah, man. Losing a fight, you know what? It's like building a house and watching somebody burn it down. It hurts, because you got to start over. We fight 2 to 3 times a year. So if you lose in January, you may not fight till May. So you're sitting there and you're hoping this next one goes right, and you're trying to figure out what you did wrong. The biggest mistake you can do with a loss is to go back to doing what you did before the loss. You have to make change. They call it insanity, doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Your opponent will be different, be a different situation, but you have to make changes in your training if you want different results. Different performance, and that's what I do every time. I try to make changes.
Fighter, trainer, owner of a gym,
baby daddy,
comedian, father, husband, to wife Nikki.
Yeah, that's my girl.
How do you find time for it all, man?
It's not finding time, you have to make time. I create my own schedule. I'm self-employed. I do work at high school. I coach wrestling where my son goes to school at. I just make time, you know, it's my schedule. I'm not the greatest, I don't want to say employee. I've never liked clocking in. I've never liked to go to work 9 to 5 and go home or sit at a desk. I have to be interacting with people. I love making my own schedule. I love being out there. Financially, I'm not doing great. I'm not doing horrible, but I'm not rich, you know, but I'm happy, you know. My wife and I, we have times where, man, it's ramen noodles. We got to borrow gas money, you know, and we've got loans, and people understand that financially, it's a struggle, and that's stress. But a lot of relationships end because of that, and we don't have that problem. That's because the communication is there. So basically, I'm saying I'm happy, man. I just try to make ends meet for my family, and my family comes first. So if I got to miss a meal for my kids to eat, I will. But and that's the reason why I don't fight for me, man. I don't fight for my legacy. I don't fight for anything, belts, nothing. I'm fighting to feed my family. I don't even want title shots. I want to higher paying fights. I'm not worried about a title. I'm just worried about fighting and competing as long as my body physically allows me to, and help feed my family. It's my best opportunity to make a good chunk of money in a small amount of time. So a hell of a sacrifice though, you know, but it's worth it for my family.
You said you're 38.
38, be 39 in November. A Scorpio, shout out to all the Scorpios out there. So yeah, I'll be 39 in November. I cannot fight beyond 40. So I don't mind if I turn 40 and I got to fight, but I'm done. I'm like Daniel Cormier, man. I'm done at 40. This is just my number. I'm gonna focus more on the gym, comedy, kids, everything.
How does your body feel at 38?
I feel fine mentally. Physically, I'll tell you this, I do need to pick up some training that I used to do back in the day. I know when I was in the UFC, I was doing some insane training methods. Getting cut from the UFC took a lot out of me. A lot of people don't know I was 3-0 with 3 knockouts, 3 knockout bonuses. One was behind the curtains, what they call it. I got a knockout bonus my second fight, but it wasn't the ones they give out. And then my third fight was the Knockout of the Year award. And then boom, I fight this unknown Brazilian. He beats me up pretty good. Goes a decision, boring fight, and I get released, you know, like a piece of trash. So I can tell you now, mentally, it took a lot out of me. It did. It was like a relationship. See, imagine getting the job of your dreams and getting fired, you know, for having a bad day at work. And that's what it felt like. But I can say I'll never probably fully recover from that. I'll never understand it. I know it's business and blah, 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 but you have to take it personal. People understand it's business, don't take it personal. It is. That's how I feed my kids. So when you fire me, it's personal as hell. It's not business. My home ain't business. It's personal, you know what I mean? So, you know, I took that hard, man. It took a lot to recover. You know, I'm fine. But physically, before I get too far off track, I feel great minus the Achilles injury. My left leg is really weak. And we actually were working around yesterday. I said, Coach, I said, damn, I can't move like I used to. I can't bounce around like I used to. My punches are a little bit lighter. Is I have to change my game because I don't have the spring that I used to. If anybody knows, an Achilles tear is the absolute, other than obviously being paralyzed, is one of the worst injuries that can happen to an athlete. It's like a flat tire. And it's not easy to fix. I tore that tendon one day before going on the Ultimate Fighter 25, which was my second chance in the UFC. $250,000 prize, and I just had the worst luck in the world. So it sucked. So, but yeah, you know, I think my life is gonna be like a movie one day. It might be bootleg, but I'm telling you, people knew what I went through in this, man. They would be shocked.
How did you tear it?
Just moving around, nothing special, no sudden movements. I turned the wrong way, my foot got caught in the mat, boom. It felt like somebody tased me, and when I stood up, I just broke down in tears, man. I knew something was wrong. My coach calmed me down. My wife was there, and I don't know. And then, you know what, I was teaching in high school, and I'll never forget, I was making $31,000 a year, and the kids would drive me crazy, and I was getting 6 weeks off to go do the Ultimate Fighter and be on TV again. And it was just, and then boom, I got hurt on Thursday. I was back to work on Monday, pissed off. I sat in the class, put my feet up on the desk and said, don't talk to me. I was hurt, man. They were already filming. I'm sitting in the classroom with a bunch of badass kids. That was my chance. It was called the comeback season. They brought all the guys back that lost on the show.
Yeah.
I had been on the season 7 in 2008, and I lost to the guy that won it. And then the guy that was supposed to win it, he got in trouble and got kicked off. So he came back and he ended up winning again, which was a great storyline. But he failed a drug test, so he cheated. Which I knew guys were cheating. They pass a drug test to get in the house and then they cheat. But, you know, what can you do? But yeah, it was pretty bad. But physically, that's my biggest problem is my getting the strength back in this leg that I had before the injury.
How was your overall experience with UFC?
It was great. It was amazing. Yeah, man, people understand, I'm from Turley, man. I'm from North Tulsa, so to be fighting in MGM Grand Arena, when people come to my gym, I show them pictures. I've been very shy about my career, but at this age, I have to market myself and brand myself like Billy Sims Barbecue. You know, if you come here, you see the posters, you see the shorts, you see the video. I got the videos they can watch, you know, and that is your legacy. And I don't mean to say I don't care about it, but I do think that your legacy can live on. You know, people can watch my old fights and my kids and grandkids forever. So everything I do is going to be a part of history, wins, losses, whatever. So I don't know. I can't complain, man. They gave me the opportunity of a lifetime and took it away, but it led to other things. I got to fight in Japan. I'm in Bellator now. Who knows? I could have been in UFC my whole career. But I enjoy going to Japan. You know, I enjoyed all the little things, little trips me and my coaches made, and you know, and it's kind of sound weird. I'm weird like this. The children that I've had, I wouldn't have those kids if I was still in the UFC. I know that sounds weird, but I'm a timing person. You know, I would have probably never met my wife. A lot of things would have happened a different way, so I wouldn't take anything back. And that's what keeps me going. Is I go, you know what? If I were to stay in UFC, this wouldn't happen, and this wouldn't happen. I got another slam 2 years ago, which was also awarded Knockout of the Year.
From who?
It was Legacy. Oh, I don't know who gave me the award, but Legacy actually gave me the award. MMA gave me an award for Knockout of the Year. I slammed this guy, and it was bad. He came in 40 pounds overweight.
See if he runs the pipe here. Oh, that's the power.
The slam specialist!
He had to get his arm out so the triangle didn't happen. He's out. He's out.
It's good! Freaking Irene!
I do think the awards are a little bit biased. I've never been invited to the MMA awards. You know, they do spinning back kicks and anything that's in the UFC or Bellator, they're really biased. I think it's not fair. I know the level of competition is higher, but the slams that I did, and I did one in the UFC and still didn't get invited. And it's like, oh, this front kick. Okay, we see front kicks all the time. How many times have you seen a guy pick another dude up and throw him down so hard he take a nap? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I ain't gonna cry with spilled milk, but it is kind of shady though.
How you feel about Bellator and everything you've been experiencing with them so far?
Oh, Bellator is good. It's like home. They're cool as hell. I wish I could fight more. I got 2 back-to-back under crazy circumstances. One on 3-day notice, the other one at a lower weight class. But I think once they see me at 185, they'll really see my true potential. I do want a slam knockout though in Bellator. I've had a slam knockout, and I've got more slam finishes than any fighter in the history of mixed martial arts. A lot of people don't know that. I'm gonna call Guinness Book of World Records and try to get that.
That's
but
your
I have
signature.
the most body slam finishes than any fighter in the history of this sport. So if that's gonna be my legacy, that'll be it.
New gym.
Yeah. Man, everybody says, oh, the first 2 years of owning business, you struggle. And I was like, not me. That shit was true. It's been almost exactly 2 years since I started, a little bit over 2 years, and it's been a struggle. I mean, moving buildings, I had 100 members when I first started, and then the next month I had 18. Imagine going from 100 to 18. I mean, come on. So I outgrew a building, and I just kept moving, and people just kept coming in, and I kept moving to accommodate the crowds. And the last building I went to was just way too expensive. I thought I could afford it. I made the mistake of thinking the more money you spend, the more you make. It didn't work. End up getting loans, struggling, about to go out of business, and swear, the day I told my wife, it's done, we're done. The gym's gotta close. I got my hair cut, and the barbershop told me they're closing. And I said, you what? And I said, how much is this place? He said, oh, it's this much, all all bills paid. I said, bro, that's way cheaper than what I'm paying over there. He's like, I'm leaving. I started moving in before he moved out. I helped him move out, but I got blessed with this amazing location. They love me over here. We're actually inside of a grocery store, adjacent to the grocery store, but we are in the grocery store. This could be like a storage unit or something. And I've had more people walk in this building than I had. I've had more people walk in and join this gym in the past 7 days than I had the past 4 or 5 months at that other gym. And that's crazy. So it's location. And I'm not going any damn where. I tell you that. So this is it.
Straight up. Father of how many?
I have 6 children and 2 stepchildren. So I always say 8.
Yeah,
My wife be like, ain't all 8 all mine. She got to make that clear, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I had 4 when we met. She had 2, and we had 2 together. So 8 kids, man, a whole bunch of them.
Man, 2 of them back to back here recently.
Back to back, bro. They like 12 months apart, man. Little Dylan was named after a mutual friend that passed away. Was born February 28th, 2017. And then her little brother, Kevin, Dwayne Harris, who was named after Kevin Hart and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, my 2 favorite people in the world. He was born August 1st this year, 2018. So, yeah, they're a handful, I'll tell you that. 2 kids in diapers is hard.
Yeah.
And they're not twins. So, you got one running around, the other one laying down. It's crazy.
Man, appreciate you sitting down with me, man. You know what I'm saying? Make this happen.
I appreciate you for
You know what I'm
having me.
saying? Got the new location.
I love
You know
it.
what I'm saying? Got a few future fights. And, you know what I'm saying? We willing
2
to-
more.
2 more?
I'm calling 2 more. I got
Okay.
2 more. I'm gonna go out there and try to get them over as fast as I can. And I want to go out with a bang, man.
Right on. All right, man. Well, you know, we're going to be looking forward to seeing.
Doing it again, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're going to capture it all, man.
We definitely got to take it back to the weigh-in in the last fight and the weigh-in in this fight.
Yeah.
You're gonna see me chilling like, what up? Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You're gonna see the difference in me. You'll see a different spark in me. But like I said, just stay tuned.
Right on. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Hey man, shout out to the homie Mizo, 20 on the Town podcast. First time I did this, he said I have enough energy. So I turned up a little bit this time, all right? 20 on the Town.